Hi everyone, Fenris Models here, and today we're going to take a look at Fine Mold's kit for the Savoia S.21 from the Studio Ghibli movie Porco Rosso. Now, this is a kit I've wanted for a while, and I know that I feel like I say that kind of often. There's a lot of kits that I want just in general, but I love pretty much all of the Studio Ghibli, especially the Hayao Miyazaki stuff, and when I found out that they have kits for them for a lot of the different movies, I knew I needed to get my hands on some, and it's just taken me a little while to do so, and I thought that this would be a good first one to dive in on. I'm not sure if Fine Molds do all of them, but I know that they do the ones for Porco Rosso, and I believe they do the ones for Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. But yeah, as you can see here we have some nice little artwork from the movie, and we have some information in Italian, which is interesting because, as you'll see, everything else is in Japanese. There's the only bit of Italian's here on the front, but it's kind of in keeping with the movie. For those that haven't seen the movie, it kind of takes place interwar, following the titular Porco Rosso, the red pig, the World War I fighter ace who was magically turned into a pig man. They don't really get into why, but it's just part of the movie, I guess. I don't know. It's a very fun movie, though. It's very good. And now the Savoia S.21 is the plane that he starts with at the beginning of the movie. Throughout the movie, he gets some upgrades to the plane, and so there's some versions of this kit that actually have those upgrade pieces. This is the base one. This is the one that he starts the movie with. So anyway, with that, how about we pop this open and take a look at the sprues. Now, as I said earlier, everything in the instructions is going to be in Japanese from here on out. I do find it interesting that they decided that it did need to have the cover in Italian and then everything else Japanese, but yeah, whatever. So and here's some more of the other kit. So you can see here is kind of some of those design differences that you get in the middle of the movie, and some of the fictional information for the plane, which again, if my Japanese was better, I could read some of it to y'all, but unfortunately it's not great, so I cannot. But then we have our sprue call out here just to see what all's in there, and it looks like we got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you count the clear sprue and the polycap bit together. But and then we get into the assembly. So we start off with our get that focus better for you, sorry about that. Start off with our fuselage bits, and then we jump into the engine. The engine casing there, and assemble some to the top of the outer fuselage, the wings. And I do find it interesting that it does have the decals going on at this stage. That's because this is it's supposed to be color correct. It's not perfectly color correct, but it actually is pretty close. So if you don't want to paint things up, you can just assemble it normal and then slap on the decals, here where it calls it out. Otherwise, I would go ahead and, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be painting this up. So I'm going to make sure I mark where these decals are, which pages these decals are located on. That way I can make sure I come back and, get them put on. So, and then we have closing it up. And then they have this little little cart that the plane kind of sits on whenever it's not in the water, because it is it's obviously a bit of a seaplane, so it doesn't really have wheels, so it does have this little cart that they put it on in the movie. And then final assembly, and there's putting it on the cart if you so choose. Then we have the paint call out for if you want Marco Pago, either piloting or as a figuring on the side, or both, whatever. And we do have the color call out down here. Now these are GSI or is GS, I always forget. I think GSI is it's Mr. Color, but I can never remember if GSI is the older name for them or Gunzei Sangyo is the current one. Anyway, regardless, we have Mr. Color colors, and then here we have the aqueous version, and then Tamiya. So it does have those three. And then the actual color callouts and the decals again, decal placement. So I guess you don't have to make notes if you're gonna come back and follow this. This is where it'll also show them at. So, yeah. Then here's our decals. So we got some stuff for the dials there. His little insignia there, and some Italian flag markings. Not sure if that's actually used for anything. If not, I might put that on something. I don't know. I like that bit though. And then on to the sprues. Everything is recessed panel lines. Oh wow, my lights do not like this one. There you go. That's a little bit better. I had to turn off some lights to kind of cut down on the glare because this is really, really smooth plastic, and so the light's kind of reflecting pretty hard. But anyway, so we got the wings, some of the engine casing there. And again, this red, if you wanted to just put everything together and not worrying about painting, you can get away with this red. This red is really accurate. It's pretty close to the original. Where it's less accurate is this quote-unquote wooden color here. Yeah, it's not great, but we do have some little wood grain effects on the plastic. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. So you can probably use some kind of wash to bring that out. Wheels for the cart, and these are some of the inner wooden pieces, and the bottom of the plane there. There's our top. I'm seeing 0 flash, which is great. Our what do we call those? Pontoons. There we go, pontoons. Tail pieces. Here are all the internal engine bits, which is only a handful of pieces, so not terribly advanced. And again, this is kind of like a gray plastic. I would definitely go over this in some kind of metal color just to give it a nice little sheen. But you know, it's nice. You'll be easily accessible, so we'll be able to, you know, get it nice and weathered if you're gonna weather it up. So yeah. And then finally, old Marco himself. Yep, I blew right past it, the pilot figuring. Which there's a bit of a size discrepancy there, but I don't think this one's supposed to be exactly the same kind of size. This is more just to kind of display next to it, I guess. So, but yeah. And then we have our little windshield here, and I believe a little machine gun goes through that hole right there, and a pair of polycaps. I think you only need to use one because again, there's only one prop, but it's nice that they gave us two just in case. And there we go. That was a quick look at the Savoia S.21 from Fine Molds for the Porco Rosso movie. As I said, I'm really looking forward to building this one. I think this one might jump up a few slots in my to build list. I don't know if it'll be, you know, next necessarily, but I think I'm gonna get to it sometime soon. Because I'm very excited to build this one. So anyway, yeah. But with all that, I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. And in the meantime, stay safe, keep modeling. Thank you to my gift set tier patron, Cali Bear.